What started as an aspirational vision to improve the teaching, research, and extension opportunities related to meat science is now a reality because of the support and encouragement you all provided. Central to the vision for this facility was Ron Richard, the longtime manager of the Meat Science Lab and the original face of Vandal Brand Meats. Ron's family asked me to extend their sincere thanks to all those whose support made the Meat Science and Innovation Center possible. Because the University of Idaho was central to Ron's life and work, and he took such great pride in the students, colleagues, and the industry he served here, it is especially meaningful to Ron's family and friends to see this facility dedicated in his honor. As manager of Vandal Brand Meats, Ron Richard helped build the stellar reputation of our program. And he literally fed Vandals and a few Cougars and others for over 3 decades.
Hi, my name's Catie McCarthy. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the new Vandal Brand Meats, Meat Science and Innovation Center honoring Ron Richard. So first off, these are holding pens. These are a huge improvement from our old facility. Some things to note, we have some new flooring and stuff. That's a Temple Grandin design to help animals with traction and help with flow so they don't get stressed out. We have 3 separate holding pens and then a circular flow so that the animals can go in. There's also 2 different chutes in there. One's for beef cattle and then one is for sheep and goats and pigs. So this is just another entrance to our holding pens, and then we'll go into the harvesting floor. So this is our harvesting floor. Something unique about this facility is we have a dirty side and then a clean side. So if you come in here, you can see our new chutes and stuff, and they have a head catch so that it's easier for us to get an efficient stun with the animals so they don't have any suffer or anything like that. Once the animal is knocked, once they enter the air, they don't come off the rails until they're in steaks, basically. So it starts over here where we would leg the animals, and then there's a hide puller so that we can get all the hide off, and then they would come on this rail over towards where we would take out the viscera and split them down the middle. So beef carcasses are going to be in 2 halves, and then pigs will be mostly split, and then lambs stay whole. But this is the cart we put the viscera in so that the USDA inspector can inspect it and make sure that everything is wholesome so we can sell any of our products. And then we have some trimming over here, and then we'll go into our hot box, which is basically the coldest room in the whole facility, but it's called the hot box. So after the animal has its hide taken off, been inspected and everything, and made sure that the USDA inspector has checked it to make sure we're all good, it'll come into the hot box, which is basically just a rectangular room that's really cold. So in here we can hang 15 sides of beef, so that'd be 7.5 carcasses, which would then go into our aging cooler, which I'll show you guys from the hallway. So aging wise, beef are usually hung for about 2 weeks so that we can make sure that they're extra tender. Pigs are about a week, and then lambs can be a few days just because they're so small and tender already. But right in here we have our aging cooler where we have some of our first cattle to be harvested in this facility. They've been here since Monday, and they'll start getting cut Tuesday next week. So the next room is going to be our fabrication room. Sorry guys. So we'll exit our aging cooler, which can hold 21 sides of beef, and then this rail will come out. Something about the rails is that there's 2 bars up there. One of them is a safety so carcasses can't fall off, just to make sure it's safe for students and we're teaching them. Over here is where we would break the carcass into halves basically, and then this side is our other rail. This sloped part is automated so that people don't get dragged by a carcass when they're basically bringing it down to put on the tables. We would do hindquarters here, fabricate those, tri-tips, rounds, all that kind of stuff. Over here, we have our coolers. Something really unique about these is that they go all the way through into the processing floor so that we don't have to have our products cross again. So once they leave this room, they don't come back. So we have a cooler here and then a freezer in the back. The freezer looks pretty much the same. We can also put pallets on these shelves in here so that we can store things more efficiently. But some of our equipment, we have a bandsaw so we can cut bone-in products and stuff like that. One of our vacuum sealers, because we have 3 of them, so that we don't cross-contaminate. And that's mostly the processing room. Something else unique about this building is we have a lab bench right here. Sorry, guys. So this, if we need to take tissue samples for any of the other colleges, they can come out here and have their own space so that we aren't interrupting them while we're doing something. So this is where we make all of our sausages, hot dogs, hams, all of that kind of stuff. We have a bunch of equipment in here, and it's much improved since our last meat lab. But do you want some of the equipment or anything? Okay. So this is a vacuum tumbler. This is how we make some of our products that are marinated. So like our Santa Anita tri-tips, we can put in here with their spices and a little bit of water. And in about 30 minutes, they're marinated in what would take 2 days in a normal setting. We have our new ham injector. So we put hams in on that end. There's needles that come in with the cure, put it all in there, and then put them out on this side. That makes it so Easter and Christmas are a lot faster for marinating all of our things. We have another vacuum sealer. This is our grinder. So all of our sausage and ground beef and all that kind of stuff comes through here. We grind it all, then we like put seasonings and stuff in it, grind it again, then it comes into our stuffer. And this is where all of our sausages gets like, that's how we make all of them. That's how we put them in the casings. It makes it significantly faster than hand stuffing like some places have to do. Another cool thing, we have a brand new bowl chopper. This is from Riser. We can double our hot dog recipes with this. Instead of doing a 30-pound batch like we had to do at our old facility, this one can do 70 pounds. So that'll help us a lot during our football season and basketball seasons. Another cool thing about this new facility is we have 2 smokehouses, and these go all the way through. So once a product enters it and is smoked, it will not return back to this side with raw product. It has its own specific cook side. So, let me see. This is the inside of one of our smokers. It's a circulating smoke so that it cooks evenly. Also a lot larger than our last smoker. And then this next room is for our ready-to-eat products. So all of our hot dogs, smoked sausages, that kind of stuff. This is where it's all going to be packaged. We can't go in here right now, but we got a few new pieces of machinery. This is a roll stock machine. So basically it creates pockets with heat, and then we put sausages in and we put a film over it, and it vacuum seals and seals it all for us. We have another vacuum sealer in there. The machine in the back is to slice bacon. But this right here is RTE gowning. So basically it's just for putting on our blue frocks and walking into this room. So we also have our RTE cooler, which is right next to the RTE room, which is very helpful. So this is where we store all of our sausages and summer sausages and beef sticks and all that kind of stuff. Then if we come this way, excuse me. So this is our public entrance. So there's a classroom on one side and then the retail front on the other side with a couple bathrooms. I can take you into the retail.
Katie.
Hi. So this is our retail front. It's probably 3 times the size of our old one, but we have some of our smoked product and then some of our like uncured, I guess, product, which is like steaks and that kind of stuff. This door is our freezer that holds our extra products that don't fit in this one, and it goes straight back into the RTE cooler, so we have access to it when we enter. We also have some new merchandise and stuff like that because we're a little bit more visible in this place at Meat and Potatoes Lane. But yeah, so the other thing is the classroom, and we had 24 seats in our old facility. This one can seat 48, and we had a test kitchen in there. So this is our new classroom with 48 different seats, and we can move it so that we can do different things in this room. We have some whiteboards and projectors up in the front, and also a rail so we can bring a carcass in here for class purposes. So we have a carcass eval class where they can grade carcasses and measure back fat and all that kind of stuff. And so we can do that all in here now instead of in the hallways. So this is our test kitchen. We have the 3-sink thing that's pretty common for all things. And then we have a dishwasher, an oven, stovetops. But this is mostly for the grad students. We do some labs where we make ice cream and cheese and stuff like that. And this is where we can do that so that we're not in the way of the meat lab employees, so that we can have them processing and us learning at the same time. So, yeah. But thank you guys for coming on a tour. Hope you guys learned some new things.
He wanted to be remembered this way. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." I think Ron would share the same motivational advice to all of us. Let's just not make this another university meat science lab. Let's make it an industry-leading meat science and innovation center that we can all be proud of and look back upon and say, "Wow, what a ride." Congratulations.